Hello friends and welcome back to the C.Gars channel with myself and Billy. How are you doing, Billy?
I'm doing well, how are you?
I'm doing great. We've got a fantastic cigar that we're going to be taking a look at today. So we have the VegaFina 1998 and we've opted for the short Robusto of all the Vitolas today. Billy, do you want to tell us a little bit about the cigar we're sampling today?
Of course, so as you mentioned, we are smoking the short Robusto today. These do come in a short Robusto, a Robusto and a Toro format. The one today comes in at 4.5 inches long with a ring gauge of 50. Has an Ecuadorian wrapper which encases a Indonesian binder and Dominican filler leaves. Should be mild to medium. Good flavour profile, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
So the last VegaFina that I had was the Nicaraguan, and that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Cannot recommend that enough. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this, and I'm also glad that it's a light to medium because it's 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
So something light to start the day.
Yeah, of course. Should we get cut and lit and get straight into it?
Yep, let's do it.
So as mentioned, we are sampling the 1998 short Robusto from VegaFina. But Lewis, just whilst we're cutting and lighting, do you want to just go over a few key points for the VegaFina brand?
Yeah, of course. So as the name suggests, VegaFina was launched in 1998. And it's predominantly leading the Spanish market. However, it is also making waves across 50 different markets worldwide. And Vegas Finas translates to finest fields. So it's kind of like a testament and a nod to the premium tobacco that you can find in their products.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it probably is worth mentioning that Cigars are stocking these at the best prices in the UK. So once you're finished with watching this video, make sure you head over to the website and grab one just so that you can see what the fuss is all about.
Oh, 100%. I would recommend grabbing each Vitola because although people may not think it, but a Vitola changes everything. So even if you're purchasing the same tobaccos in 3 different sizes, it's going to
drastically change the experience.
Exactly, yeah. It's something that I don't think is known as much as it should be. Really.
No, probably not. But there should be a sampler including all 3 Vitolas on the website as well. If there isn't, I'm sure we can see to that and make sure that you have the best opportunity possible. But I suppose without further ado, we'll take these down, get through the first third, and then we'll check in with you guys when we're at the second third.
Yeah, of course.
So we've made our way through the first third of these cigars, and Lewis, I'm going to come to you first. I want to hear your thoughts on this cigar. So far, I think I'm really enjoying it, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Come to you first. What are you experiencing?
Cool. So first initial impressions, this cigar starts off very creamy. I then found it to be quite a dry. We actually spoke about this off camera as well. We both agreed that there's quite like a dry, like a graham cracker sort of note to it, but also it's got a dry finish. I found that there was a bit of baker's spice in there as well, but it's just at the back of my throat and slightly on the tip of my tongue. It's not overwhelming though. It kind of goes hand in hand with that dry, the graham cracker note. And then I'm getting a lot of citrusy notes, so like quite a tangy orange peel note to it. I think the creaminess has died down a little bit, but those are the key notes that I'm getting so far. I also have to say that the construction as a whole is phenomenal.
Yeah,
very impressive construction. The wrapper as well is really thick. Yeah, and the ash, it's kind of like a stacked pile of coins. It's beautiful, it really is. And yeah, I mean, you're holding the ash really well. I did knock mine off, but it just looks great. But
to be fair, you did do it just as a precautionary. It wasn't a case of it was going to fall or anything like that. It was like, okay, I'm just going to knock it just in case it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, leading on from that construction, as you can see that Lewis just mentioned, it is absolutely perfect. The burner stayed perfectly straight. Ash is holding really firm. Draw pretty good as well. I've got no issues there. It's got a little bit of a firmness to it maybe, but again, I quite enjoy that little bit of work that you have to do. In terms of flavor profile, I think we do somewhat agree. I do agree with the cracker note that you're getting towards the start. It's quite a dry start to the cigar. Mine transitioned a little bit more into sort of like a pine wood note. Which then kind of tailed off towards the back end of the first third, bringing in like a cocoa or a chocolatey note, a little bit of sweetness there. But It's strange. I mean, the notes that you're getting and the notes that I get are quite different. So I don't know where this is going to take me. It's quite an intriguing cigar. But yeah, it's stunning. Visually, very, very good looking cigar. Definitely. Nice and plain, but the colors are block colors, if that makes sense. They stand out against it. The contrast is really, really good. So
kind of matte, yeah.
Yeah, for me, a very, very good start to a cigar for sure.
I also have to say, this is a very slow burner.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've been sitting here, what, 25 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I'd say
like
so, yeah.
And we're only just reaching like the second third.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we are having a little bit of a conversation off camera, which will slow us down a little bit, but we did both look at each other and think, this is a real slow burner, which is great.
You get a bang for your buck, that's for sure.
For sure. For sure. But yeah, phenomenal start to a cigar, as I just mentioned. But I mean, should we take it down, see what transitions we get, see how it changes, and then we'll catch up later on?
Just reached the final thirds of these cigars now. Billy, what are your current thoughts?
In terms of construction, that's why I think that's a good point to start again. Stayed very true, stayed pretty much perfect all the way throughout. I think we both can agree on that. So hats off to the construction. In terms of flavor profile, I would say that the pine notes have mellowed out completely. I don't really get anything from that anymore. The slight chocolatey note that I was getting here and there as well has completely diminished. That's no longer coming onto my palate at all. I would say that it's more of a well-rounded sort of earthy, smoky flavor profile for me now. There's not really many intricate details in terms of flavor, but just a well-balanced, nice, rounded flavor profile for that middle third. And as I say, it's something that I'm really enjoying.
Yeah, cool. I totally agree with that smokiness. Mm-hmm. It's definitely picked up in body.
Yes, for sure.
It's become not intense, but I would say it's definitely not a light strength cigar. It's quite like medium to full, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it started off very light. The first few draws was very light. It was sort of that dry graham cracker kind of flavor.
Yeah.
Mellow. But I think throughout the cigar so far, it has built quite nicely. And as you say, it is now teetering over towards that medium full range.
It's definitely got an impressive transitional period.
Yeah,
that's for sure. And I would also say that these cigars would probably go very well with like a barbecue.
Yeah.
Like if you're out with friends and having some nice food, like a nice steak, something meaty.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'd personally say flavor-wise, I've still got that kind of citrus tanginess there, but I'm getting some maybe almond tastes in there as well.
Okay. So still nutty. A little bit of a sweetness in there as well.
And I agree with the smokiness as well. So complete that transition from the first third is pretty insane, really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anybody that follows the podcast will have noticed that I sampled their 25th anniversary probably close to a year ago now. It was probably not far off.
I think it was just over a year ago.
Yeah. And as I say, that was the first iteration of this cigar that I sampled. And again, that was phenomenal. Really, really enjoyed that throughout the podcast. And this is just staying true to that, really, really holding that premium feel, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and each cigar that we've sampled from the VegaFina range has been so different. Yeah. I mean, you've had the 25th anniversary. I personally haven't, but we've both had the Nicaraguan range. Yeah, that was so different to this.
Yeah, it was.
So it's nice to see that there's such intricate differences between the three blends.
And the introduction for the Indonesian tobacco in this as well kind of just adds that extra little edge, and it's a truly phenomenal cigar. Really, really enjoyable.
It's certainly a region that you don't see too often, but I think it's starting to make more waves.
Yeah, especially for binders. I think a lot of brands are now starting to introduce it for their binder.
Yeah.
And it probably is why we noticed earlier why that smoking time is quite vast. It's a slow burner, and it's probably something to do with that.
That's for sure, yeah.
As well as obviously the thick Ecuadorian wrapper on this, which we mentioned earlier. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, same. I would say the last thing I want to say is I would pick a good pairing with this as well, because of that sort of dryness. It's good to sort of have a liquid there with it. So maybe, I mean, you could probably choose something a little bit peaty with this.
Yeah, see, I think I'd go sweet. I think I'd go rum. I think I'd go with a sweeter rum just to balance it maybe.
So here's the interesting thing. Obviously, because it started off sweeter and with that graham cracker and quite creamy, it would be great to start off with something a little bit more peated. But as you get further along, it becomes more intense. Then maybe a good rum, like Diplomatico, personal favourite of ours.
Yeah, for sure.
That would go great. Or a Brugal, 1888.
Yeah. Oh, another phenomenal.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Yeah.
But as you say, there's definitely, it's a versatile cigar. It can definitely be paired with peated whiskey or like a Speyside or anything like that. It feels like there's something for everyone. Anything that you sort of personally enjoy in terms of your pairing, I think it's got a very good chance of pairing well with this cigar.
Yeah, actually, just on the top of my head, the Dominican London Privy Liberation. Yeah. That's a cigar cognac. That with this would be phenomenal. I kind of wish I had some now, but
I can see that. And maybe if it was in the afternoon, we'd have had a little pour. But I think that rounds off the middle third, I guess. I think we should probably take this down towards the back end and see how it changes.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're coming to the back end of these cigars today, and for me, I would say that there hasn't been all that much change into the final third. I would say that pepperiness that you mentioned in the back of your throat earlier on is way more prominent now. I'm getting it a lot more in the back of my throat. There's hints of, like, as I say, earthy, leathery notes maybe, but as I mentioned, there's not all that much going on now in comparison to the middle third. But yeah, my overall thoughts of this cigar, very, very enjoyable. As we mentioned, very versatile in terms of pairing. I feel like a lot of different spirits would work well with this cigar. And yeah, definitely one to pick up if you haven't tried it already. But those are my thoughts. Lewis, what do you think?
I definitely agree with the most, on the most part anyway. I would say the only thing that I don't get is that pepperiness now. Okay. That's like pretty much gone for me. The flavour profile from the middle third for me has continued, but as you mentioned, there's like a leatheriness, earthiness to it, and I'm getting a lot of that leatheriness. But overall, very impressed with the cigar. I would say that this is I'd probably say it's a late afternoon cigar. I wouldn't recommend it for early morning unless you've got a great nicotine tolerance, like some people, but and if you are going to smoke one in the morning, I would recommend a nice meal, nice breakfast. Yeah, for sure. Eggs Benedict or something. I
was going to say, I think the intensity, I think we mentioned in the third that it did ramp up, but the back end is way more intense and a little bit more punchy than the first two. I don't know if you would agree.
I don't know about that. See, for me, I think it's stayed consistent from the middle third. It's quite like a medium to full. I think that's the most it's gone for me. Okay. Fair. But it's a fantastic cigar, really great blend. VegaFina, they've done a fantastic job with this one. Sure. Really impressed with every single cigar that I've had from them in the past, and obviously I'm going to pick another one of these up at some point in the future. You can definitely see why they're a leading brand in the world of tobacco, for sure. Of course, yeah. Let us know if you guys are going to be picking some of these up to try. Apologies for all the seagulls going nuts outside. They're crazy right now, aren't they? But it's a little bit of a battle we have with every filming session, isn't it? But it is, yeah. But anyway, definitely let us know what you guys think of these cigars if you've tried them yourselves, and let us know what pairing you've got alongside it. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and stay safe, happy herfing, peace.